Today we're catching up with the Southwest United hockey team. We talk to the players of all ages to find out what they love about the game, and we'll sit down for a chat with international women's soccer coach Dal Fan. Hello and welcome to Women in Sport, brought to you by WSN, the Women's Sports Network, where it's all about women's sport from all over the world. At WSN, we're passionate about promoting, supporting and encouraging female athletes of all ages. We'll meet some inspirational sportswomen. We'll discuss some of the issues facing women in sports today. We'll explore gender equality in sports. We'll talk to players and coaches from all over the world as we celebrate women in sports. So what are some of the major issues facing women and girls in sports today? Well, statistically, young female athletes are 6 times more likely to stop playing sports than their male counterparts. At WSN, we want to drill down and find out exactly what is discouraging the girls from playing. Coach Dal Fan, the former captain of the Vietnam soccer and futsal teams and international FIFA coach, said that she was stunned by the lack of equality in Australian sports. From a lack of playing and coaching opportunities for girls to the difficulty in finding qualified coaches and referees for girls' soccer matches, even to a lack of adequate changing facilities for female players. Please welcome Coach Dal Fan.
Thank you, Risa, to invite me for the talking show about the women in sports. Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. Dal Fan is the Technical Director of Ice Soccer Australia. She's an international athlete who's played soccer and futsal for Vietnam. She's captained the Vietnam national soccer team, and she's run international soccer coaching programs in Spain, England, Australia, China, Dubai, Thailand and Malaysia. Dal, thank you so much. How did you first get started in sport?
The first I get started when I was 10 years. I played for the community team at Ho Chi Minh City. And after that, so I recommend in the professional club at Ho Chi Minh. When I was 16, this time I started my professional football player, and after that I learning about how to be coaching. Yep.
Wow. So what do you love about soccer? Why soccer?
Why soccer? Can I explain for you? Because soccer look like inside my body, my blood, my burn. Yeah. And the other thing that soccer bring me healthy and fitness. You know, that make me strong mental here for I deal with the problem for the woman, for the girl. And the other hand, you know, playing soccer, build up together. You know, that with a friend, I can talk it, I can share some idea, something I cannot share with my family, my friend, but with the soccer, it's much better for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of your biggest achievements in soccer?
So it's a whole my life. Like I be a part of international in my national team, and on the other hand, I lead the Vietnamese women team playing high level of soccer around in the Asia. And on the other hand, you know that I recommend be a part of assistant for under 19 boy in my country. You know that at the country nothing for the women, but they recommend me for assistant coach for the men. That's a big thing for myself.
So that's a big step.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
So you think more kids should play soccer and get healthy and fit and?
Yeah, absolutely yes. Because so you know that soccer or the other sport that's very good for the kid if you get involved in then training, because it's so build up the physics for yourself, and you can reduce a lot of sick and different. And that hand and build up the mental here for the kids, make them strong, make them confident. The most important, they need to believe themselves when they get involved to training or to play together. Yeah.
So the team skills they learn on the field with you, is that something that they can carry through into their life and learn how to be better team players?
Yeah, I think so, because you know that when they come together to training, and they can learn how they deal with the problem on the field, or they can deal with the game competition. They can learn it different, and when they lose or they win, the mental here they build up step by step. And the other thing, they need to make your body strong and fitness. Yeah.
So many benefits to playing soccer. So girls can now play soccer with you. They can learn, well, you can coach them and you can train them here in Australia. So tell us about those programs. What sort of things will they be doing?
a lot of things they do it with me, training on the field, and the other hand we focus about fitness and mental, and beside that we can training inside the theory. We training different, and the most important, right? At Australia, the program they always run by season, all right. But at W Sport, we run the program for all the girl and the young boy for whole year. Yeah, so that that the parent they can get the girl. That's so for whole year for training.
So they just keep on going and keep on getting that health and fitness
going.
going.
That's the most
great.
Different. Right.
Yeah, fantastic. So if they want to contact you, how do they get in touch? Is it through W Sports website?
Yeah, they can come try to internet and they can search in www and .wsport and .org.au.
Yep.
Yeah, so I can share
wsport.org.au and they can just follow the links to get in touch with you and sign up for soccer.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and being here and talking to us about this.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At Women in Sport, we want to know why some of the world's greatest sporting achievements receive little or no coverage. From roller derby to skiing, female athletes are achieving huge goals and setting world records, yet very little is actually reported. First up, let's look at Victorian roller derby. Victoria defeated two-time defending champions Rose City to become the first league from outside the United States to win the WFTDA Championship and take home the Hydra Trophy. They finished the year undefeated and entered the championships as the world's #1 team. Moving over to the Women's Lacrosse World Cup in 2017, the Australians women national lacrosse team is ranked 4th in the world behind the USA, Canada and England at the 2017 FIL Women's Lacrosse World Cup held in England. The Australian team finished 3rd in the 2017 World Games Women's Lacrosse Tournament held in Holland. Our Hockey Roos have been knocked out of the Hockey World Cup after they faced off against the world's #1 women's hockey team, the Netherlands, and were defeated 3-1. The Hockey Roos will play Spain in the 3rd place playoff. And in women's Paralympic sports news, Victoria Pendergast, Australia's first female sit-skier at the Winter Olympics, has won a silver and bronze medal in the slalom and Super G at the 2013 North America Cup in Thredbo. In today's Women in Sport panel discussion, we're joined by hockey player and coach Lenore Smith, as well as international soccer coach Dao Fan, to talk about the lack of women's sports coverage available and what we can do to create more opportunities to celebrate our female athletes. Thank you both so much for joining us today on Women in Sport. Now, should male and female athletes get the same amount of coverage in their sporting endeavours?
I definitely think that it's an important thing to make sure that they're both equal. Around the world, women's sport is certainly coming up, and the Australian cricket team, they're doing amazing work, but yet they don't get the same coverage as the men's, but they're higher on the scheme. And it's the same with the hockey, women's hockey in general. It's only just now, in 2018, they're getting better coverage on Fox of the World Cups. You didn't have that 5-10 years ago, which means that it's changing, but it's not changing quick enough.
So what do we need to do to make that change faster, or to make it more equal for women and men's sports?
I think maybe, getting the word out there to businesses, because that's the only way women's sport is going to grow, is having business supporting us. So knowing that kids in general are going to grow up being fit, healthy and doing something they love as a career. The footballers, they can actually become a career footballer, get paid to do it. Women don't have that opportunity. So being able to have different companies supporting us to get us through to that stage, I think that would be definitely a good thing.
Okay, so why do they get less coverage for women's sports? I mean, things like the Women's Big Bash League and the Women's State of Origin, I mean, why do those get less coverage, do you think?
So, in my opinion, I think because of the men, they have a lot of support from the government, from the TV show, from a lot of things they put in the interview for the men. And so that so many companies, they want the opportunity for the name. That because for the men, for every sport, the men have record a lot, so that there's so many companies they want to sponsor because so the name will coming up on the TV. Yes,
but if they sponsored women, then they'd have the same thing. They'd be creating these recognised names that would then become.
So not so much like the men, but for the women, like they have lack of a lot of things, like for the government support, for the TV show, for a lot of things. Yeah, and then no one encourage the girl to involve for soccer, for sport, for all the sports the same. You know. So and then for the parents the same. Some of the parents they don't put so much time for the girl to get involved in sport, and then so that companies the same. I think. Yeah, in my idea like that. How about you?
I think women in general in sports, unless they really push the boundaries within their sport and show people that they can do these things and that they can go outside the box, it's only then does companies get on board. Serena Williams, perfect example. Yeah. She's constantly winning upon winning upon winning, and that's only because of the amount of effort that she puts in. So, you know, Nike and all these other brands, yep, okay, we'll sponsor you to do that. So unless you really push the boundaries within your sport, you're not going to get the support to be able to highlight it. You know, a couple years back, there was a hockey player called Nikki Hudson. She was able to get sponsored by Maison, which is a hockey brand, and she managed to get a stick out. And that lasted maybe 2 or 3 years, and then it, you know, no, that was it. And there was nothing else to come from it. So unless there's something within the sport that's, let's all have a go, let's try something new, there's nothing there to really get anybody else excited about it.
Yeah. I mean, it almost feels like we're a bit of a warm-up. The women's sports are a bit of a warm-up for the men's sports. Yeah. And it's sort of like a support act at a concert, you know, and the audiences just don't go and support that. So we really need to sort of change that conversation and get people to be excited about women's sports. I mean, how do we do that? How do we just get more women to win, or how do we do that?
In my idea, I think so. We need to we need to have the hand from the government to push to some company, and then you need to support for the girl first, and so that the girl they have the sponsor, they can do in person better by advertising, and then we encourage some more girl come, and then so that the name of the company going up. I think that's a step by step in it like that.
Excellent. Yeah. All right. Well, we definitely need the government to get on board and businesses as well. So thank you both so much for joining us today. We really appreciate talking to you, and we hope that we'll talk to you again soon. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you think women's sports gets enough coverage? We don't here at WSN and Women in Sport, but we'd love to know what you think. So join our website, get in on the chat, www.wsn.org.au. We're back with hockey player Lenore Smith to talk all things hockey. Lenore recently invited the Women in Sports crew along to visit her hockey club and to take a look at her journey coaching the Southwest United Under-11 Sea Lions.
Shinty, or hockey as it's commonly known as today, has been one of the world's oldest running team sports for nearly 3,000 years. Dating back to the ancient Greek Olympics, this sport is treasured around the world by over 2 billion fans. Hockey was first modernised and played throughout Scotland in the 1700s and continues to be played in that way currently. 11 players are on the field at the one time, working as a team to get the ball up to the other end of the field to score a goal for their team. Holding the title as the world's second most played sport around the globe, hockey is easy and enjoyable for people of all ages if eager to learn the inner workings of the energetic pastime. Southwest United was founded in the early 70s by a group of men from Ashgrove, avid fans of the sport wanting to extend the game of hockey to the western suburbs of Brisbane. The club's first ever female team to represent Southwest United in hockey were formed from students of Toowong High School. Southwest United strongly caters for girls and boys of all ages to join the sport and are always on the lookout for new recruits. Visit southwestunitedhockey.org.au for more details on joining the beloved sport.
Lenore has played on the under-16 and under-18 Sydney rep teams and the Open East Sydney school team. Lenore, you first started playing hockey at the age of 11, I believe it was.
Yeah. I got into it. We're at school sports and they said, what do you want to choose? You've got netball, hockey or soccer. And I went, no, hockey. So I fell into it and I grew to love it, did it at school. And then when the opportunity came up to do club hockey, I was like, yeah, let's give it a go. And it grew from there.
Wow, that's fantastic. So what about hockey? What is it that you love about hockey?
To be honest, I don't know what it is, but being able to be with a group of people who have the same love, want the same goal at the end of it, not just winning, but being a team who works well together, that has instilled my life as well. Knowing how important it is to have everybody working on the same page, working towards the same goal. When you get there, that in itself is the most enjoying thing and rewarding as well.
So, that was something I was talking with Coach Dale Fan before about how the team skills that they build when they're playing these games, that can really benefit them in outside life.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. This year in particular, because I've been coaching for that many years, since I was 17, and this year in particular, it really stung out because 5 girls in particular, never played before. At the end of the season, they've loved it. Absolutely loved the sport. And one parent in particular came up to me and said, thank you so much, Lenore. You've brought her out of her shell. She's become this amazing, vibrant, talkative young lady just from being in your team. And I said, well, it's not just me, it's the team environment. And I do think it builds their confidence. Yeah. They get learning new skills, and when you get excited about them learning something new and nailing it, they then get confident, oh, well, if I can do this, I can really do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And do you have those light bulb moments where you see the kids just go, oh, I just understood that and I just got that move, and that's got to be pretty rewarding for you.
Every training session, every game, there's always a light bulb moment, and I will celebrate every aspect of that. And from playing to coaching, that's the one thing I've learned of how important it is to celebrate those things and also say, hey, look, you're not doing this right. We need to find a way that works, because every player is different. Yeah. Everyone learns on a different level. So it's important to go, okay, well, that's not working. Let's try this. And when they pick that up and you think, okay, bang, we've got it, it is such a rewarding, heartfelt moment. Yeah. That no one can take from me, and knowing that other people out there don't experience it, well, that's just on them.
So for the under-11s you've got now, do you think that you'll, see a lot of them continue on and continue to play?
Well, practically everyone from the team said as long as you're coaching next year, we're coming back.
Fantastic.
And that was really lovely, but at the same time I said to them, yep, I'll be coaching, but we might not be in the same age group. You might be at a different level. But every coach is a good thing because you'll learn something new from a different coach. Everyone coaches differently. Yeah. And knowing that they come back because they love the sport, that's an amazing thing as well.
That's fantastic. So I know you're pretty passionate about getting hockey into more schools and giving more kids the chance to play. How do we go about that?
I think definitely the government needs to get behind it, as well as parents. Yeah. We can get the government to sponsor us as much as possible, but if the parents aren't willing to get their kids involved, if they're not willing to get, it's hard to explain. If the kid wants to do it and the opportunity is there, the only thing stopping them would be the authority of the parent. So we need to make sure that they all understand it's going to be a good thing for them. Yeah. Not just hockey, but any sport.
Yeah, and that means driving them around at 5 in the morning. We did all that with our son. I know exactly what that's like, and you get through it, it's great. So, yeah, you just drink a lot of coffee and take them around the world.
Not so much 5 o'clock. I think the earliest hockey game is probably 7:30, so that's not too bad. Yeah. But there are the late games, as they get older, the games get later, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. But, that's usually when they're a bit older and they can drive themselves.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and that's a really happy day, can I tell you?
Yeah.
Look, thank you so much. That's about all we've got time for today, but really enjoyed talking to you. Hope you'll come back and join us at WSN again and talk to us on women in sport. So thank you very much, Lenore Smith.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we've got time for today, but join us next week where we'll be talking roller derby. We'll be chatting with some amazing female athletes and we'll be bringing you all the latest news on women in sport. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you think about women's sports coverage. Is there enough? How can we create a better voice for our female athletes? So jump on our website at wsn.org.au and share your thoughts. Don't forget, 2 Clubs, you can also submit a video to tell us what's great about your club or sport, and we'll feature one of those videos on each episode of Women in Sport. I'm Rachel Vickery. Thanks for joining us for Women in Sport.